Hello. Welcome to I Love Stocks. I'm going to turn on this motivational video, and then we're going to talk about stocks and about my little options challenge. Kind of how I got started from a small account and I'm building it up, and how I'm doing my game plan. So we'll start off with this little motivational video and get right to it. Hope everybody's having a happy Easter. Today is April 4th. On a Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. One day I'll have a yacht and a plane. Welcome to I Love Stocks. I had a pretty good week last week trading. Even on the red days, seemed like I woke up kind of bullish in the market, and that's about the way the week went for me. Kind of had a week before that where it wasn't, a couple weeks before that where my options challenge count wasn't doing very well. Had a couple trades that I was long in, and it just didn't work out too well. So I want to kind of talk about how I'm doing the options challenge. And I started out with 1,000, and I've built it up to, right now we're at 4303.63. And once I got it to 2,000, I decided to open up another account, because just 3-day trades a week wasn't cutting the cake for me. I think I needed more, because I was missing out on a lot of opportunities. So I figured if I opened up 2 accounts, that would give me 6 chances to day trade a week. And then I could swing the other 80%, swing 1 or 2 trades every night, and try to balance that out and maybe have a swing that would last maybe 3 days. If it wasn't working after the second day, or even on a Wednesday, if I got in on Monday, I would probably go ahead and exit the trade. But a lot of these trades that I've been doing day trading on and scalping in the challenge account, I've been cost averaging down, probably 99% of them, almost all of them. If it goes down a little bit on me, I'm going to buy another contract. And that's kind of how I've been doing it, and it's been a success. Almost a 95% success rating by doing it that way. But I'm only in stocks that I really think I got in at support, and if I did, and I'll just, when it knives on me a little bit more, I'll go ahead and buy another contract. Or maybe sometimes I'll double up and buy 2 and try to bring that cost average, because I've noticed a lot of times when I get into that first option, it seems like I'm getting into a spot that maybe would be a pivot point place after it broke support and it'd fall down. And a lot of times it would bounce back up to that same price, but it wouldn't hardly ever break it. So if I cost average down, I'd be able to get in that cost down, and I'd be able to get out of that trade at my first entry price. But you know how everybody trades them. I trade them off the moving averages once I'm in a trade, and I get off on the candlestick or chart pattern. So, and I think the more that I build this account up, the more risk I can take, the more contracts I can buy, which is going to be going to raise it, going to bring my totals up a little bit higher and higher, or my losses down even bigger. And the only time I've really had big losses in this account's when I held on to a losing trade, knowing in my gut, and I didn't have that chance to get out of it because I didn't have that option to day trade it. So I got stuck with it or something like that. And then I'd try the next day. I'd say, okay, I'll give it another chance. I'll buy another one at a cheaper price, and it failed on me too. And usually after about the fourth or fifth day, it would rebound on me. So I've been buying. I haven't been playing too many lottos, and I've been buying the options a week out. Or if I do scalp it, like it's going to be Tesla or BIDU, I'll trade it within that same week. But very seldom am I taking a lotto play on the same day and getting out of the stock, because I've had a bad track record on that, and with a small account, I don't want to take that high risk. So let me see anything else about the challenge that's really got me good. I'm getting better at it, that's for sure, because I'm learning through my mistakes, and I'm more or less self-taught on these options and just watching other people how they trade them. But I like to get in that support, like if stock gets called. Microsoft was a great example. These are the ones that I'm in right now. I'm in Boeing, Microsoft, QCOM, and silver. Now I think silver was probably a jump to trade that I probably wouldn't have took. On an average day, I probably wouldn't have took that trade. So if I'm not up on silver come Monday, I'll just go ahead and get out of it. QCOM, I got in on John Dejarian news and unusual option activity. So I'm up on that strike right now. QCOM in the challenge count, I'm in at 112. And right now, we're right around 142. So I'm up $30 on this one here. And if this thing spikes up first thing in the morning, I'm out of the trade. And Microsoft, I got in it. And this one here was a neat trade that I called in the room on the VWAP. I called this pull back on the VWAP right here, and she pulled back. She actually did it twice, and then almost did it the third time, and then she ended up breaking up higher after hours. So I'm still in Microsoft right now, and I'll probably get out of it first thing in the morning too and take that profit, because I'm up on Microsoft. Let's see here. My average on Microsoft's 220, and right now we're at 267. So I'm up $25 on this one here. 40 some bucks on this one right here too. So if we get a little spike on it, I'm out of Microsoft. That's April 16. And then Boeing's the one that I had a little bit of difficulty. And I think right now I'm at 258, my average, and we're at 235. And I have 5 contracts of Boeing, an average at 258. And right now, after hours, we were at 235. So I'm down $100 on this one right here. She bounces up. I'll probably get out of this trade too, because I'm feeling kind of iffy about it. My gut's not telling me too much. So that's the options challenge, and that's the update. We'll see what we can do next week. Welcome to the room. Hello, Richard. Anybody else got a stock they want me to look at here? I'm going to go through my little watch list of stocks that I'm looking at. We're going to start off with AMD. Let me pull up my chart. Tesla. So we'll start off with the 3 that AMD is going to be one of them. This one here started kind of rebounding. We almost had a good solid support level down here at 74.12. if you see it on the yearly chart, AMD, I think it's had a pretty good hard sell-off from the high up here right around. We never did break that $100. That was my target on it. And then we've had that almost that double bottom down here at 74.12, which we've touched down here, and we've touched down here too. So we got to break this 200, and that's the SMA, and that's on the daily, yearly chart, the 200. I think that resistance level is right here, right around that 80, right in here, where these times where we couldn't break it, right in here. So I'm thinking 81.23 is going to be the resistance to break, and then at support level, pull it right down here, somewhere right in here off this candle, right in here, right around 70. 77.85, then a little pivot point area in that channel. That's going to be right here at 79.40. This is AMD, and we're going to bring up the 20-day, 1 hour. And these are my SMA moving averages. So we could pull back to right around in here to this 200, but we got to break resistance level of 81.23. That'd be like a double top. Actually, it could be a triple top if she soups on up and breaks out of that. Then you have a little resistance level. It's probably going to be real hard right here, right around the $82 area. Somewhere right in here. Bam, right there, and then lower support right there. Now I'm trying to find me another spot right here. And then that's it right there, right in here where we had this lower support channel. So resistance to break is going to be that 81.23 on AMD to get it up to 82. And if that breaks resistance, you definitely have a hard resistance up here at 83. Low support probably going to be in this channel right down in here, probably around 77.85 to 79.40. So I think that's going to be like your strong area to get into the trade for strong buy. I'm going to chalk that in right in here. Bam. With the pivot point area in this little box right here at 78.51. We'll change this to right here. Right there. I'm going to make this red because it's going to probably show up tomorrow. So we got first support right here at 80.53, 79.90, and then that 79.40 for your third support. And then if that doesn't hold, you'll get down into the strong support channel, and that's going to be your strong buy. Resistance to break 81.23 all the way up to 82, and then $83. That's going to be your hard resistance. AMD. We're going to move this over here. So there's your AMD there. Anybody got a stock they want me to look at? I'm going to kind of go through my next week's watch list right now. I did give a little summary on my options challenge. I want to try to get this thing to 5,500 next week, maybe 6,000. We're going to look at the SPY. SPY had a nice little break. We're at my lucky employee number, 40116. We did have a 20-day high up here right around 403.90. So I'm going to definitely chalk that in for resistance level. Then we have a solid support right here at 399.83, which ain't much. It could pull back to this previous high here on the 20-day. But I want to look at the yearly and see if I missed anything on the yearly here. Yeah, it's an all-time high. The yearly is. Yeah, so that first support channel is going to be right down in here. Between, which is not a pretty big spread, 6 cent spread. But we had an ascending triangle right here. She did kind of double bottom right here, and then finally had that nice little breakout from that previous high. So yeah, bounced off that 202 on the daily 1 minute, which is positive. SPY, I don't think can go any lower than this area right around in here. If it does go below the 400, strong buy right down in here. I'm saying right around the 399.43 area, and then one right down here. So you got that first support right around 400 on SPY, 399.43, and then that 398.83. A strong support channel right down in here. Like to see that hold. And then SPX. Let's look at the SPX on the yearly. I used to gauge this one here a lot when I was trading on that last pullback. We had that little double bottom right here from that previous high, right around 377.66. So she's still looking bullish on the way up. We did have a new high on the SPX Friday at 4020-63. So we're going to have a little support level right there. Welcome to the room. Then we got 3951. So we'll go to the 20-day on the SPX. Support level right here. So we got 3 supports, and then we got that support channel right down here. First one, 39.92.95, 39.73.38, and then your third support at 39.51.44. Resistance to break is going to be definitely the high, and that's going to be right here, right at 40.20.17. If we can get past that, we'll make new highs on this one, or she'll pull back. So you got your 3 supports with a strong buy area right in here off this 200. That's no lower than 39.14 area. Bam! So that's that one. Microsoft. Let's look at it. I'm in this trade. I'll probably get out of it first thing. I've got my 2020 trend lines on here. So let's pull this up on the year. We got a high up here on the year at 246.13. So if we double top to this one resistance level, and that's going to be this one right in here, I'm going to change that to red, because that's the one that I want to probably take the exit Monday if we get up to that high, get up to around 344.76. If we can't bust past that, I'll go ahead and take my trade, because it was a pretty big bounce, and we are looking at a hammer here. No, that ain't the hammer. Let's look what we closed at here. So yeah, we're still bullish on this. But look at that big old gap up we've had from 235 all the way. That's about a $7 gap high. So she could pull back. And we'll look at the 20-day to this area right in here. This previous high. So I'm up on the trade. I'll probably get out of it. If it bounces up any at all, I'll probably go ahead and get out of the trade and then wait for the pullback, and hopefully right around this 240 area where we had this previous high right in here would be your first support. Second would be that 238, around 239 area, and then that 238 would be your third for a strong buy. But we'll see how this thing opens up on Monday. If she opens up and breaks up to that resistance of 244.76, I'll definitely get out of the trade, and I can get out of that at open. I'll be like $150 option trade right there. And that's the one that I'm in. Microsoft. I'm in the April 16, so I got plenty of time at the 245. So I'll probably, if we get up there, I'll be out of the trade in the money and try to buy on the dip. Dish and PLTR, I'll look at them both. Definitely. Welcome to the room that just showed up. Please hit that like button down there if you haven't already. Subscribe and ring that bell. I'm talking about a few stocks that I'm in my options challenge on. And then, how important that watch list is. I've talked about that many a time. So we've just talked about Microsoft. We're going to talk about Tesla. I know I got Tesla on here, or do I? There it is. To me, Tesla is going to be a buy signal here. It's pulled back a little bit. Now, is a lot of this stuff, is a lot of this stimulus package already fixed into the market? I've seen a few headlines where some people think it already is. I think we're just in the beginning of another bullish market myself. And we could be already counted in because we definitely had a good pullback on the tech. So I'm looking at tech very seriously for a rebound. I'm feeling good about the trades. Tesla had good numbers. Numbers came out. There's still bears all over this trade. It was bearish on Friday. I expected to pull back, and I was pretty much right. And I wish I wouldn't have cleaned this chart up because I had the support level, and we were very close to it. So we've got another support level we got to look at right here, right around that 650 area, because I'm looking at spots right in here. So we're going to chart up Tesla. I think I'll show you what happened Friday on this stock. Right in here, right around that 650. I'm going to get this candle perfect right here. Yeah, I mean, I made probably almost $2,000 on this one right here last week. Just this one here alone. There's that little spot right there. That's right. It's right around 650 area. Then we got another one right in here. It's a little support level at 655.65. So I'm looking at that. Then we got another one right up in here, which is going to be a resistance level at 661. I'm going to try to see what else we got in this chart here. We got one up here. We're going to hit that too. In case she doesn't go ahead and decide to break past that. Now, I had a $700 target on this last week, and it didn't get up there. She pulled back on Friday. Friday did not look pretty on this stock, so I'm thinking maybe I'm going to be looking at this trade, and I'm going to find out what direction it's going to be going on Monday, and might scalp it. Definitely. I'm only scalping this trade right now. This is the only trade that I'm scalping, and I'm scalping it for like up to 150 to 300 bucks a whack, sometimes within a half hour, sometimes within minutes. Right there. I'm going to put that. I had that peak right in here, that pullback right in here, so that's a real strong buy right in there. We'll pull this back up to the daily. So I think we could, if this thing rebounds and turns around, we'll have some resistance level. And that's going to be right up in this area, right in here, right around the 666 area. But I want to go back to this 20-day. I can't see much on it. I'm going to color this one here in a red line. I think that's where the strong buy is going to be. Right here at right around the 650. If that 650 holds, and this 50 starts to cross up over this 200 on the 20-day 1 hour, I think we'll retrace back up. She definitely got out and sold off real hard. I mean, we were up here. I scalped this thing twice Friday, and I don't know how I got out of this green. I don't know. I can't remember when I got in the trade. Let's see here. ain't gonna have it on here. I don't think it's gonna have it on here. So I got in, my first entry on this one here was right at 857. So yeah, I got in it right in here. Got it right in here. I was thinking it was going to hold trend, and she went ahead and pulled back. And I got a couple more, and I got out of the trade. I was able to get out with a profit. I got in at first time at 272, and then 229. Bought two here, and then I bought two here, and then I sold it at 293. So yeah, that was a pretty good little trade right there. Then I got into it on another one, in my other account. Scalped it about the same time, made 170 on that one. So I'm still liking it. In fact, this week I'm going to be looking at Tesla. I'll be looking at the let me see here. Tesla will be looking at the April 9th. Probably back down here at 700 strike. Definitely at 700 strike, or the 680 one right in here. Either one of them two I'll take. If I can get a pullback on this one here up to under 1,000, and I see support level, that 680 might be the one. But I'll definitely be looking at the 700 strike too. It's going to be the April 9th. Tesla. And the next one we're going to talk about, then we'll start looking at stocks that you like. Let me see what else I got on here. I got Apple, BIDU. That's another one that I'm really liking to trade. I like this BIDU trade. We definitely had a nice little pullback on it too. I sold this thing first thing in the morning. I'm getting out of these spikes. If I'm in a swing trade, and BIDU was one of them, I got out of this spike, man. I got out. And look at it, she pulled back almost 12 bucks. And if I'd been paying attention to this thing, I'd have bought it down here on this dip, close to my 215 support. So I keep these trades active. And I'm bullish on this one here because of all the money that was going into it. So I'm very bullish on BIDU. And I'm going to clean this one up. I got a resistance level up here I wanted to get to. Let me see if I can just magnify this up. Yeah. This was my trade on it the other day. I was in and out of it. Then I swung it. And I got out first thing in the morning. She pulled back and hit that 50. And bam. So we're going to clean this up. Go to that yearly chart. We come back and we almost hit that 200 here on that bad China news. We had them 3 black crows, and then she started retracing back up. So we got a resistance level. We got a break on the stock here. That's going to be right here on this candle, and that's BIDU, and that's going to be right there at 225.14, all the way up here to this 238 area. That's a huge gap up. Then we got a little pivot point in here. That's going to be right there, right around the 233 area. Right there, 232.42. And see how she touched down right here? So that's going to be your 3 resistance levels to get it to. I definitely like to see it go into the gap and fill and hit this 232.42 this week. Baba. Now, if it pulls back, we're looking at no lower than this 208 area. For a strong buy. Just because it pulls back, that means, you know, I'm going to be ready to take this trade. Because I really am bullish a lot on BIDU. Then we got one more right in here. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Organic Sumatra. the 20-day on this one here. And I'll tell you what trade I'm going to take on this one too. We got these higher lows going on, so we're going to definitely break this resistance level at 225.14. Now, if I can get in on the dip, on the pullback, no lower than this 211 or even this 217, I might start buying here at 217 if we do get a pullback on it, or a knife to 211. Actually, I need to draw this little spot in here, figure out what line this is. I think that's your pullback right there, 214. See where we've pulled back here before? We've done it again right here and had that nice little bounce. So if we can get a triple bottom here at 214, right at 214 something, I'm going to go ahead and set me an alert there too. So I like that. I'm going to bring that number up to about 215. For strong buy. So if we pull back and I hit this triggered right here, I'm in the trade, and I'm going to be looking at this option. I really like this stock. I think we're going to end up breaking out this week to 225, but this 214 area, that's only like a $4 dip. I'll get into the trade, and I'm looking at BIDU. Next week, probably just, it'd be a choice. Be 225 area. If I can get a dip on this one here, I'll buy a contract at the 225 and try to scalp it for about 150 bucks. This 225 strike, and if not, I like at 230 on a different date. So if I go out farther on a different date, March 16th, I'd hit that one right there. And look, it's got some pretty good volume on it too, the 230. And if that dropped down like 100 bucks, I'm in that trade too. And that's going to be the April 16th on BIDU. So yeah, I like BIDU a lot. That low support, 214 for strong buy, and then resistance to break is going to be this 225.14, and then take it up to right around the 231, 232 area. And that's my watch list. There's a couple more good ones on here. Jamia, I thought was doing pretty well last week. PayPal, called that one out. Oh, there was another one I called out that I wish I'd have held. ARKK, ARK. Dang, I had to call this one out down here at the bottom down here, and I took my scalp on it and got out of the trade, swing trade, and then she ran all the way up here to 124. This would have been a pretty trade for me right here, about $1,000 a con. Well, I think it was like 900 bucks a contract by the time it hit up here. So ARK, I like it. Pull back on ARK. No lower than this 116 area. Probably right in here. So I'm going to keep a good eye on ARK. I think it's going to be on one of my top traders. It's got pretty oversold. Kathy Wood's stocks were all red for about a month or so. A lot of them pulled back. Now they're starting to rebound a little bit. Boeing, I think I talked about it, or did I talk about Boeing already? I'm in Boeing. So Boeing's pulled back. Boeing's been getting a lot of good news. It did have its 5-day run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have known better. I jumped in this trade. We did bounce off that 200 Friday, the 200 SMA. So I'm thinking if we can break this 50 right here, we'll take it back up here to resistance levels. And the first one we got to break is going to be right in here. I'm going to say this 254 area. If I can't break that 254, I'd like to see it get on up here a little higher, right around 255 area. 255. If I can get out at 255, I'm going to be a happy camper. But we'll see how this thing goes into Monday. And Boeing, low support is going to be this 200 on that 20-day, 1-hour chart. I want to see that hold that support level. If not, we could probably fall back down here right around the 247. That's going to be Boeing. Truth. You want me to look at Dish? Let me take a drink of coffee again. We'll look at Dish, D-I-S-H. See if there's any news in here. Dish Network. It's a letter to FCC complaining that T-Mobile. Dish Network sends a letter to FCC complaining that T-Mobile is rushing to shut down networks still used by Dish Boost mobile customers. Well, never complain. So we definitely pulled back to my little support areas that I had down here. Now I can't remember the last time I charted this thing up, but it was definitely this year. It was last year. Let's pull up this year's chart here. Yeah, it's been a while since I've charted this baby up. We have a little resistance level right in here. We've had this triple top area. And it looks like we broke it out. She kind of pulled back. Now she's kind of wiggling out here. So we got a hard resistance to break. One of them is going to be right here off this spinning top right here at 37.17. We got another one right up in here at 37.52. I can see where it kind of closes up there and it closes off that candle here. This is on the yearly. And that support level is going to be right down in here. Off this candle right here where we had this double top. I'm going to pull this to the 20-day. So yeah, you got a strong support here on Dish at 34.92. I think the resistance to break could be right in here. Yeah, we're right on it. The resistance to break. You see it in here, and I can see it off this candle right in here. So 36.82, if we could break that, 37.17 and 37.52, and then a hard resistance right in here, right around that 37.66 area. Strong buy down here at 34.92, 35.50, and at 35.92. I would call this the pivot point area on the 20-day, and that's what we got to break, and we did, and that was at 36.43. So that becomes support. And then we're into our first resistance at 36.82. Then we've got, like I said, that 17. And then at 37.52 to 66. And maybe if we can bust past that, you'll get up to these higher highs. And that's Dish. Truth, and then PLTR. Now, I know a lot of people are still a little bullish on PLTR, and they got some good news here lately. Some kind of government contract. We tried to get up here to my little resistance channels that I had, and that was up in here past this resistance level of 23. Let me write this in red so I can see it. PLTR. That's at 23.18. So we did fall back in it, and we did have 3 black crows on Friday. So I think this thing can pull back to support level. I really do. And that's going to be down here at that $22 area. If you can get in it at 22.18, I would feel comfortable. Or a triple bottom down here at 21 bucks for a strong buy. That's a triple bottom if she does pull back. But she's got to break this 200-day on SMA on the 20-day, and that brings you up to my resistance channel. And that's between 23.18 and up here right around the 24. I got to color this in because I can't see what color that is either. 24.95 to 25.44. And that becomes hard resistance. But first you got to get it past this 200 SMA. And that's on the 20-day 1 hour. And that's going to be right now, it's at 23.37. So if it does pass that, then you have a resistance level at 24, all the way to 25, and then that 25.44 with a strong buy down here, no lower than that 21, 22.18. And actually that first support level is going to be right there at 22.73. It's going to be PLTR. I'm bullish on it when it gets down to 21, and I start to turn a little bearish when it gets up into this resistance channel. If you can break 24, you'll be lucky to get 25 out of it, unless she just starts to run up and the momentum shifts. Boeing, yeah, we'll look at Boeing. I talked about it just a little bit ago. We'll look at it again because I'm in Boeing. Right now we bounced off this 200 on Friday, 200 1 hour, and it's at 251.54 area. So if she could bounce back off this 200 SMA on the 20-day 1 hour, I'd be fine with that. But I wanted to break resistance level of 254 and then maybe exit the trade right around the 255 unless the trend starts to go on up higher and we can try to bust past this 256. But for right now, I'm in the contracts, and I got a little support level right here at the 250.56 area, and then this 247.65 with a stronger buy down here at 242.69 if it does decide to go ahead and pull on back. But I'm in the trade, so if I get any kind of spike up here and we can't break this triple top 3 days in a row, I'll go ahead and get out of the trade at 256 if I'm lucky. But I think I'm going to try to get out of it even if we can bust past and get up into these 3 resistance levels. It's either 254, 255, or that 256.65. And actually there's some resistance right here even at the 256, almost like in dollar intervals. And then your strong buy is going to be lower support channel in this little Darvis box right in here. We had an inverse head and shoulders, and she did break out. That's called an inverse head and shoulders right there. And bam, 5 days. So let's see if we can get back up to a triple top at 256. And if that doesn't break, I'm going to get out of the trade. Boeing, eBay. eBay's up here double topping again. Let's clear this all up. We bounced off this 200 here a little while back. That's 200 SMA. I always like to look at that on the yearly, see where we are. But we're rearing up to our heads up here to the triple top that we had before and couldn't break. And we'll see if we could break it again. That's right here at 63.94. If we break that, we'll double top at the 64.85 area. support going to be right in here. I'm getting off this candle right in here, right at 62 bucks. That's going to be your first support level. Then that second one right down here. Then that third one, which has to hold, going to be right in here off this candle right over here. Those are your three support levels. Then a strong buy. If she does dip down, I'm going to say right in here. That's kind of iffy. I mean, it could be a little bit more. It could drop down a little bit more than that even. We've got a little resistance level to break right there. Watching all these candles line up here in the body of that candle. So take this to the 20-day. We got a strong buy down here. Definitely a strong buy. If it does pull back, eBay, I'm looking at this $61 area for a strong support. You know, she does have her nice little pullbacks. If you can catch them, that'd be like a beautiful little double bottom. Actually, it could be a little higher, right around that 61.27 area. So that's where I'm going to set my alert. I'll leave that white. I'm going to set me an alert right in here. Up. Yeah. Okay, right there at 61.30 is going to be a strong buy on eBay if it does pull back. You got your first support right in here at this previous high we had right here. So that's going to be your first support. And I talk about them a lot in previous highs when you're looking for a strong support level. It's called a chart pattern. Previous high with a strong buy down here. So your first support at 62.45 to hold. If that doesn't hold, she could pull back to these other three. And that one of them, that next one's going to be at 62, 61, 67, and then a strong buy down here at 61.30. Resistance to break 63.15 to 63.94. And then you'll have that all-time high at 64.85. eBay. Square. SQ. SQ. Here's another one. Didn't quite pull back to my support level that I wanted to get in this trade at 202.03. We come close to it a few times, but now she's back up in here. So I think we're going to consolidate to the right, and a hard resistance to break is going to be that 244. We're going to pull up the 20-day. This resistance level right in here. Yeah, strong buy down here. Raise this up a little bit. It's right about there. Set that alert for 216.10 in case she does pull back to that area. That's going to be like the double bottom, triple bottom area, quad bottom down here. So that's the neckline right at 215.84. But I'm raised it up to 216.10 for my alert. Actually, it could go up a little bit higher, maybe up in here, right around the 54 area. We'll just put it right there for right now. Right around the 217 area. She can pull back to that because I'm seeing all kinds of other confirmations that maybe we got support level right in here. There's 1, 2, and then 3. Resistance level is going to be right here at 235.73. This is square. And then that other one at 240.29 and 244.32. So strong buy down here at 217, 219.52, and at 224.30 for your first. And right now we're at a pivot point. This area right in here is a pivot point channel. So if we can bust past the 230 area, we'll take it to 235.73 for your first resistance. 240.29, then a real hard resistance at 244.32. Square. And the next one, CCL. You're long in CCL. I think it's a good idea. This one here is kind of volatile. We've had a nice little pullback on it. Now we're into our 5 days and we're setting up for an ascending triangle with a little bit higher highs. So the resistance level on that was right in here. Right there around 26.84. And I think we're well beyond that. So if we can bust past $27 Monday, we'll get up to this resistance channel up in here. Your hard resistance is going to be right around the 28.24 area. That's going to be the top of that channel. If you're long in this trade, I think you're in at a good spot. Add on to it no lower than that 24.67 area. 25 is where I'd be adding on to it if it decides to pull back. But right now, you're setting up into a bullish pattern, ascending triangle, and I think we'll break out next week to 28. And I heard bookings are starting to fill up big on airlines, resorts, and all kinds of places. So, yep, I think you're fine. We're going to have a breakout on this one here come next week. Ascending triangle set up, bam. CCL, 28.24 to break resistance, and then maybe get it up to 30. That's where you're going to have real hard resistance. Always try to buy it on the dip. You could probably, right now you're setting up to break out because you got that ascending triangle. And next, NKLA. I've been sitting on the back burner on this one here. I don't know. This one here is kind of, I give it a 4 rating out of 10. Maybe a 3. We're definitely down here to support areas. Should have to have some news. We've double bottomed down here before. I'll clean this chart up. We got that support level right here. I'm going to draw this trend line in here. Let me see here. See, we're hovering down here to the double bottom. So descending pattern. So this got to hold. It's 1372. If not, you'll have your strong buy down here at 1257. And if it does start to catch up momentum, right there, right around the 1638. So we find us another little resistance level right in here. Well, I'm excited about tomorrow. I'm going to try not to rush into anything, that's for sure. Okay, let's go back to the 20-day. So right now we got this little Darvis box channel going on here. That support level is going to be right in here. So we're going to fix this. Right there. So if we can play with this box a little bit, then you got that low support right here at 1331. This is in KLA, so I'm still a bear on this. To really become real bullish on it, we'd have to break this 1465. Now a person can play it inside this box if they can get down here at 1329 and run it up here right around the 1465 area. And that's where you're going to probably, if you can get in on the triple bottom at 1329, you hit the pivot point area. It's in this box, and that's going to be right in here at 1431. See that? We've had them highs in here. So that's your little pivot point area. And you do have like a little channel in here, a pivot point. And I'm going to color that in. Color that in with a little darker gray. That's going to be like your little pivot point area. So we've got a strong support level, triple bottom, no lower than this 1329. That's where I would probably take the trade, and I'd run it up to this resistance level. And then if it didn't break the 1408 to 1431, I'd exit the trade and maybe play it on the pullback. Now, if it does break it, your hard resistance level is going to be that 1465. And if that breaks, you can bring it on higher. It's going to take some news to get this trade going. Includes path electrical rebates. And that's one good thing about the stimulus package is the rebates. Now they still have a price target that's been cut to this $15. So yeah, they adjusted 15 from 17. So I'm not very much of a bull on it, but I could play it in this channel. AMD. I did AMD at the very first of the video. And you can go back and watch the AMD right after it gets done recording. And let me see. Any more tickers we want to look at? We'll look at AMD here. Now, there's been a chip issue. I think this in here might have had a little selling effect with that China crap going on with Biden and them. But now I think that's kind of wore off. And we've had a nice little rebound here in the past couple of days. So it's going to consolidate once it finds resistance. And that's going to be right up here, right around the $83 area. Pullback support, I think like I said before, a strong buy is 178.51. Back in this channel right in here. Between the 75.85, 78.51, and it's 79.40 needs to hold. That's going to be your third support. Anything in this down in this box here is going to be a strong buy. But if we can hold this 74.90, 79.40, that's your third support, or we break resistance level of this 81.23. If we can break that, it'll take it on up here right around to $83. The hard resistance right here at 82. So kind of like in dollar intervals. Take it to 83, and anything past that's going to be a gift. I think we had a nice little breakout on it already from this triple bottom down here. 1, 2, 3. Bam. So she's going to pull back maybe inside this box and find support, but I'd like to see that 79.40 hold. That's AMD. ER on the 27th. Well, I think ER will probably be good. I think they'll be real good. This was a real hot company at one time. We were really bullish on this, but we found some kind of resistance level. We just got to kind of try to play it until it figure out when she wants to break out again. I'd like to see it break that 100, but it didn't happen. That's AMD. So I guess that's about it. In summary, the account challenge, Washboardjim's options challenge, had a real good week last week. I'm back up to the top again. I want to try to break. I'm definitely going to break past 5,000 this week, I hope. Get it up to 5,500 maybe by the end of the week. I'm going to be real patient with it. I'm swing trading right now, 4 of them. I'm in Boeing, I'm in Microsoft, I'm in QCOM, and I'm in silver. Silver had some very unusual option activity. I think I made a big mistake by getting this one, but we'll see. I want to try to get out of it with a profit if I can. But those are my 4. Remember, I started with 1,000. Now I'm up to about 4303. And then if I can get this to 55, the bigger it gets, the more chances I can take. And I think April's going to be more of a swing. I've swung probably 80% of the trades that I've done in this challenge. I swung them overnight mostly, or not held them longer than 3 days. And the losses are the ones that killing me. It seems to me like I'm not getting out when I shoot on the bad ones. But they're good stocks. They're just not I just didn't follow the trend right. That's it. We'll see how it goes next week. Anybody that's in the room, you know I post all my my calls that I make, the trades that I'm in, and I'll let you know if I'm scalping. If I'm scalping something, I could be in and out of a trade within 3 to 5 minutes. So that's something you got to, when I say scalp, that's what I mean. Unless I get stuck in it, and then it ends up being a day trade or a swing. But 90% of the time when I say scalp, I'm in a dangerous trade, and I'm going to get in and out of it as fast as I can. And that's it for the market report. So always remember, I'll probably keep doing these little videos throughout the week of talking about stocks that I do like. Hit this Twitterberg. Miss Vegas is always posting alerts in here. SNDL. I'll do SNDL here. Hit that little icon and hit that follow button on Twitter. And also on our website, we do have our StockTwit links, and you can hit that. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed for future updates on any videos that I do, and if you like this, hit that like button. And we're going to look at SNO, the marijuana. New York is legalizing marijuana recreational use. We're going to see how that turns out. He can't police the state he's in right now. I don't see how he's going to be able to police that. But, so it's changing. New York's going to be changing. Going to be another San Francisco if it ain't already. Past 3 months, retailers have been talking town, Wall Street, sellers, investors. Just kind of checking the news here on Sundial. Yeah, we're definitely down here at a support level. Strong buy. I think I've talked about this area before. It's 93 cents. If it broke down below $1. We're going to look at the yearly chart here after I chart this thing up here, this support level. Right there at 101. Look at the 3-year. We're just cleaning it all up. Clean it all up. Start fresh. Right there at 48, no way. There's that 96 area. right there. Bam. 82. I'm looking at these candles right in here. Then we got a little resistance level right there at 153. That's only your 3 year. So let's go to the 1 year. Bam. So I like this. I like to see this hold, this 105 area hold. Now I know she won't. So definitely down here in this 91 area is going to be your strong buy. 91 cents. Now this is a great trade for long if you can buy on the dip. Right now, this is the pivot point, this 105 area. And that support level at 92. Actually, at 92 is probably your strong idea to get into the trade. If that doesn't hold here on sundial at 92, 82 would be your next one. But the resistance to break is going to be past this number right in here, right at 127. If you get past 127, you can ride it all the way up to right around 143 to 153, and then maybe up here right around the 165 and find the hard resistance right there at 174. So pull back no lower than 66 where that 200 is. She will bounce off that 200. So if you set an alert right around that, probably at 70 cent area, and she hits 70 cents, I would call it a very strong buy. Sundial. This is a good one to get into. But for right now, if she can hold this support area where she is right now at the 111, 112, you see where we pulled back before. Nice little breakout. Pulled back to it before. Nice little breakout. And we're getting ready to poise to do that same thing again. And we definitely pulled back to that support level. And that's right in here, right around the 111 to 113 area. So if that holds, we could probably take it back up to the pivot point area. And that's where these two moving averages are. And that's got to break that 127. So yeah, strong buy. Like I said, around 70. Your first support right here at 92. But if we can hold this 112, she'll run back up and have a nice little breakout. Sundial, I'm going to put it on watch. Plug. Space, yes, space is looking good. Space is getting ready to break out again, I think. Plug is the same thing. Now I've got a resistance level on plug here at 3840. If we can get past 3840, she'll go up higher. But we have some resistance right here from this previous high we had right in here at 3739 with solid support right here at 3345. Right in here. I'm going back and looking at this little channel back in here. So that's 3345 is going to be strong support. Resistance to break 3739 to 3840. And then she'll run on up and start moving up higher. And I'd say, maybe to the gap up here, right around this area, right in here at 4269. I'm bullish on a plug. Somebody's going to give him a big contract here real soon for these charging stations. Big time. So no lower than that 3075 for your third support down here. That's going to be your very strong buy. Touch it back down to there, bam, back up to resistance. Plug. Space. I charted space over the weekend. I kind of like this little pattern at the end. I'll show you on the 20-day. We've had an uphill trend here, and she's been above that pivot point most of the time. So between that pivot point and this channel right in here, and that red line's your little pivot point area. So no lower than that $30. I'd like to see hold. Now, the resistance to break on space is going to be this 3142. Now I'm seeing some guys out there that are really calling this thing to run, and you got to be careful with them kind of traders. $100 target. I don't think so. Maybe in the long run, in 5 years, $100. But for right now, I think you're getting at an area where you're getting at a good place. You want to maybe start consuming some for a long-term play. And that's going to be no lower than this 29 bucks. That's where I would almost start loading up for a long position at 29. Now, if she goes back to this bottom of this upward diagonal Darvis box, whatever you want to call it, to 28.77 and bounces off that, I could run it back up to the 30 bucks and try to break that pivot point area at 30.45. But this is the pivot point. So she could break down here and then hover around here a few days and then bounce up to resistance level. Would be the top of that box. But that resistance level's got to break at 31.45. Anything past that, you could probably get a little bit more out of it. Space. So I like it. I think we're down here at the bottom on it. Anything down here in the lower under 29 is going to be a strong buy. Resistance to break 31.45. And that's it. I want to call it a day. Hope you all enjoyed it. I figured there probably wouldn't be too many here on Easter Sunday. People are with their family and stuff. But I'm glad you showed up in a way. And we're going to leave. I want to get out. I got another job I got to do. I'm going to leave with this one final little motivational video. I hope everybody have a great week next week. If you're not in our room, please follow us there. We got our links to our Twitter and our stock twits. Hit that like button. This will be recorded. You can go back and look at some of these things that I've talked about. I want to bring my challenge up. I'm using this money for a condo in Hawaii. So if I can get 150 out of it, that would be grand. That'd be great by the end of the year. So everybody have a great day, and we'll see you Monday. I love stocks.